This is my pride and joy. I've been working on this for weeks. The idea is to keep the belt. This belt has, I've replaced this belt dozens of times since we got this lawnmower. Cub Cadet Model GT3100, purchased in 2008. I used to think I had to buy the belts from the dealer. They're 60 bucks a piece. I go through 2 or 3 belts a season, sometimes more. I remember one time I went through 4 belts in one season. At least it was when I got to 4 belts, I said something seriously wrong. It turned out that this arm, the deck was bent because some branch went through one of the pulleys so violently that it bent the deck, and I had to make a jig to straighten this arm out with a long lever arm. But so yeah, I used to buy the belts for 60 bucks, and then I found out I could buy them for 40 bucks at Napa, and then I found out I could buy them for 20 bucks on Amazon. So that's what I've been doing. I went through 2 or 3 belts already this season. There's one over there. Any small object goes in here, it trips the belt off because it's spring loaded. It has a lot of play, and very easily can get tripped off the pulley. And once it goes in this gap here, and then the pulley cuts the belt, so it's ruined. It happens over and over again. I was trying to figure out, actually I always thought that there was nothing I could do about it. There was nothing, absolutely no way I could stop that from happening. But then I had this idea of putting a ball bearing here. That would be to hold the belt in the slot no matter what. I'm a little bit worried if something does get in there that it's gonna break something. But I got a grade 8 1/2-inch bolt and a 3/4 inch kind of a bushing or whatever you call it. So I feel like that's pretty solidly in there, and this is like a 1/4 inch thick plate. But then my desire was to keep anything from getting in that space, so I built this thing. I mean, it's kind of ridiculous looking, but and I haven't tested it yet. But I cut a slot for the belt, which is probably going to get enlarged because the belt kind of oscillates. And I don't know how to edit video, so I'm going to have to do this in 2. Yeah, I happened to have some high density polyethylene. It just happened to be the perfect thickness because it splits that groove, the V groove, perfectly in half. And I wanted to build a little cover for it. But I had some transparent 1/4 inch thick transparent Lexan that I want to bolt. It gets bolted through the deck. These holes are like 1/2 inch and 1/8. It's like 3/8 of an inch of steel there. And yeah. Oh, I wanted to say, this steel is so brittle. Like this thing keeps breaking. This thing keeps bending. It bent so many times the deck would fall off, so I welded this reinforcement. I mean, it's bolted, but it's also welded. I just needed a piece of angle iron to beef up that tab. And the deck, I don't remember, there's some place on this deck, it's just like the steel it just fractures. This part just broke, so I had to buy a new one. I didn't want to mess around with trying to fix it. Yeah, I don't know. This deck has been a nightmare. This lawnmower, it breaks every time I use it. But I'm hoping that I can get at least stop buying belts. It's a giant pain in the ass to replace a belt because you got to take this pulley off in order to get the belt on. What do they call it? Gearbox. Well, so my next segment is going to be with the plastic thing mounted, and then after that I guess I'll do a video hopefully of it running successfully, hopefully.